So here's the deal. If you use the word control or feel like your partner is controlling you in your marriage, what's actually happening is that's just really a cop out. And I realize that's not a popular idea, but the truth of the matter is, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, is no one can control you without your permission. So I'm Lesli Dories, your marriage coach and the creator of the Hero Husband Project and owner of Foundations Coaching. And this idea, this came to me because a client of mine, he and his wife had an argument in their car for 4.5 hours because he was really angry that she had made a request of him. And his response was, she's trying to control me. And if this crops up in your marriage, it's you're on the wrong track because quite frankly, nobody can control you without your permission. Nobody can make you mad. Nobody can make you do things. It's a cop out. It lets you off the hook for not taking the appropriate action in your relationship. Now, I get that. I know you're not going to like that. I know that you're going to tell me, no, 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 it's really my partner. And that is the number one way you give up control. When you are focusing on your partner, what they're doing, when you're blaming your partner for your choices, it's a cop out. And by the way, you're never going to be able to change anything. The only way that you can change something is to do what is authentic to you. And this is where people get really ticked off. I've had this conversation with my clients for years. They'll come in and say, well, my partner made me mad. No, your partner did something you didn't like, valid, but how you dealt with it is 100% on you. Now, going back to my client, he was really angry and he started to say some really not very nice things to his wife. No surprise, she didn't respond well and started saying nasty things back. And what this is a complete lose-lose situation for both of them and for their marriage. Now, I will tell people, even if somebody has a gun to your head, you don't have to do what they want you to do. Now, granted, the alternative is not good, but the choice is still yours. Now, the only time I will say this is if and this is the case, if somebody has a gun to your head, you've been physically overpowered, absolutely 100%, and you're making choices. And if you choose to make the choice to stay alive, great. That's not fantastic. That's wonderful, right? But that's not what's going on in your marriage. For most marriages. Now in marriages where there's abuse, that's not who I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about just your normal everyday marriage where there is not any kind of coercion or abuse. And even if there is coercion, and I know this is going to not sound, I'm going to get all kinds of comments about this, and I get it, right? You still have a choice. I remember getting into a discussion with somebody in a Facebook post when she was accusing her husband of being a child. And I'm sitting there reading this going, yeah, but you chose him. And this, and I hear this all the time. If my partner would just do X, I get it. But you actually, when you focus on yourself, when you make your own decisions about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable for you in your relationship, that's when you have some influence. Because we actually cannot control another human being. And Eleanor Roosevelt had a wonderful quote, one of my all-time favorite quotes, about nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. And I adopt that. Nobody can control you without your permission. Now, I'm not saying that the alternative is easy, But that's the whole point, is that when you put the responsibility for what your relationship looks like on your partner, you are ceding the control that you have in your relationship. And the answer is not to continue to focus on your partner, but to actually look at what it is that you can do differently. Now, here's the thing, I get it. Your partner is probably not going to like it when you do that. And this is how they, quote unquote, control the relationship, right? So if they yell at you, if they call you names, if they give you the silent treatment, if they do things that are hurtful, and so you avoid going there, you avoid stepping in that puddle because what you get is so painful. That's, I get it. We don't want to do things that are painful. Nobody on the planet wants to do something that's painful. But that's the only way that you are going to regain yourself in your relationship. Because, by the way, every time your partner creates a situation that you don't know how to deal with, and you don't deal with it well, then what that tells them is this works for them. They get what they want in the moment, but they're doing damage. And the thing is that in a relationship, you've got two people with two inputs, and you're one of those people. And so the deal is not to blame your partner, but to start looking at what's going on with you that this is being allowed to happen. And this is, and I don't care which side of the partners. I don't care if you're the husband. I don't care if you're the wife. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Right? All of us still have responsibility for what our relationship looks like. And that's actually where you have the power. You have the power to change it for you. And I'm not going to say it's easy, but yelling at each other generally doesn't work. Silent treatment doesn't work. Avoiding topics doesn't work. All it does is continue the discomfort. So if you really want to know how to take your power back in a productive way, not in a tug of war way, because the thing is, it's like when you start doing something different, your partner can't do the same thing. And by the way, you don't need permission from them to do something different. What you need is clarity and commitment. And if you'd like some help with that, love to have a conversation with you. If you're finding these teachings helpful, please go ahead and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Hit like below. Let me know your thoughts. I expect some pushback on this one because what I'm saying is not popular. But I'm going to stand to it. I've planted my flag on that hill, and I would love to hear from you. So you can shoot me an email. You can put a comment down below. You can direct message me. And my email is Lesli, Lesli, at foundationscoachingnc.com. And I'd really love to have a conversation with you if that word control pops into your head or is mentioned in relation to your marriage. So until next week, stay loving.